Welcome back into the Rounding Third podcast. I'm Nick. We have Harrison and Sean with us. How we doing tonight, fellas?
Good boys. How we doing?
Boys, what's going on? What's going on?
Baseball is back, opening weekend, and we will get right into it. But first, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can also subscribe on YouTube. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcast. All right, opening weekend. And a couple wild situations to start off the season with a bang. So let's start off with Rhys Hoskins and the New York Mets. So this starts back when he was in Philly, and I believe he gets hit or thrown behind or whatever, and he goes yard and takes a 5-minute jog around the bases.
Slowest trot ever.
Whatever. So he gets to New York, and he takes a hard slide into Jeff McNeil. Jeff McNeil has something to say about it. It's barking in his face. And bench is clear, all of that mess. Next game, he gets thrown behind, and chaos ensues. And then the fans boo him the next game, and he proceeds to go yard right after that. I mean, just like a lot of drama in that one series. It was awesome. But how are you feeling about your Mets after that series, Sean?
Long season. in more than one way. Look, I mean, I don't think anyone was under any illusions that the Mets are going to go compete for this division. Milwaukee's good, right? Milwaukee is talented. And this is kind of like the Mets' MO lately. The past few years is they tend to start slow, and it's the big guys like Lindor starts slow. Lindor had a tough opening weekend offensively.
And he owned it too. His press game conference saying, we're not going to win if the number 2 hitter does nothing, and I'm the number 2 hitter.
Yeah, and it's a lot of tough at bats. It's a lot of swings and misses from both sides of the plate. I mean, he'll settle in. I mean, the guy's an all-star, perennial all-star.
He's so good.
I mean, like he's going to settle in. The team is fine, but they're not great, and you need your good players to play good if you're going to have a chance to win. I'm not shocked. I will say this about the Rhys Hoskins thing, though. I think by the letter of the law, like I think it was a clean slide, right? Like he went a little late. I think where McNeil probably took a little bit of offense is when he was coming over the bag and he kind of rolled a little bit.
It was the roll for sure.
And he got into the front knee. But, I think they made a bigger deal than it probably should have been because it was Hoskins and because of kind of the history that he has from being in Philadelphia. Like, I didn't think it was that bad. No. The role, I think, maybe could have been handled a little bit better on Hoskins' part, but like he had a job to do. He was trying to break up a double play. So I don't think it, like, I didn't look at it. I was watching the game live. Like, I didn't look at it and be like, oh, that was a dirty slide.
Yeah. Same.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
But just generally, though, baseball players tend to like hold on to these grudges for so long, man. Like, let it go.
Right.
Like, let it go. You guys all do stuff like that. Like, they all do it now with the bat flips and the excited looking at the dugout, like big, reactions to your boys when you hit the big home run. Like they all do it. Like, are we supposed to throw at everyone that does that? Like, are we supposed to hang on to it for years?
You'd be throwing at guys forever, constantly.
Like, it's just, I don't know, man. New season, like, it's just let a clean slate happen. Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't think he did anything completely disrespectful. He took his time around the bases. So what?
Right.
Like, so we're supposed to sprint around the bases every time you hit a big home run? Like, I just think the whole thing gets a bit, like, silly at times, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think it got way bigger than it ever really should have, ever should have gotten. And it definitely came back to bite them in the ass because, I mean, this guy was really good this opening weekend for Milwaukee.
He was.
He was really good. He was. Really
who else looked really good for Milwaukee was Freddie Peralta. He dealt.
Yeah, he did. He got a lot of swings and misses. The one thing I'll say about Hoskins, though, he didn't really turn into a tough guy until he had all his boys behind him and he was in the dugout. And then he started turning into a tough guy. And it's like, okay, well, take that for what it is. But you're doing that when you're in the safety of the dugout behind your boys. Then you're a tough guy. Like, I don't know.
The crying face epic to McNeil. That was epic.
What'd you say?
With the crying face, we was making McNeil rubbing his.
Yeah, I thought McNeil overreacted. No question.
I think so too.
I thought he went a little bit too. I thought he went a little bit too far with his reaction, but I mean, we'll see what happens the next time they play. And I get it. Craig says yes, hit them if they bat flip, and then the side's clean. Like, I get it, but like, to me, it's like
when does it end?
One opportunity, but you have one opportunity to do it.
Yeah,
like the next time you face them is your one opportunity to do it. Like, you can't be dragging this out for years and be like, well, we've been holding this grudge for a while. It's like, you got one shot. You have one chance to do it, and then if you don't, that's on you. You missed your chance, and now you move on.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. He went straight into the bag. It was a late slide, but like, he was still in contact with the bag, and he made sure he stayed in contact with the bag too. And by the letter of the law, like you said, it's clean. It's by the rules. That's what they want. They don't want guys going all the way. Well, they don't want guys going all the way out to center field to take out somebody. Oh, I'm still an arm's length away from the base. Like, they want to take that out. I get it, but
sure.
Well, and
I think this is why you, just real quick, Harrison. This is why I don't think you can just simply go by letter of the law. Like, I think you have to watch a play within the context of what the rule and what the law says. You then make a decision within that. Because I think that late slide turning into a rollover when he got on top of the bag was completely intentional on the part of Rhys Hoskins. Yes,
that's the problem.
Did he follow the rule? Sure, but that was an intentional play for him to get in under the legs of McNeil, and I think that's where McNeil took offense. Did he go too far? I think a little bit, but I think he has a right to be upset with the slide, considering that was an intentional twist and spin when he got on top of the bag.
Yeah, that's exactly the point I was going to make. Is the slide may have been okay. It was the rollover when he did that. I kind of went, ooh, like that was clearly targeted at trying to get McNeil. If you're watching this Orioles game, Mountcastle made an absolutely disgusting run-saving diving crab. But so the slide itself was fine. The rollover clearly got McNeil. But the other problem too is if McNeil handled that cleanly, that throw would have already been out. He would have already been kind of hopping over Hoskins. So really, it probably wouldn't have turned into that. But the whole play kind of went south. But they've got bad blood. It was not the best slide. The slide was okay. The roller was not. They've got bad blood. McNeil took offense to it. He took it too far. Hoskins took it too far. But it sure as hell made that series interesting because right out of the gate, you had some excitement. Yeah. And then Hoskins going yard and, the Mets being the Mets. But the Mets managed 21 hits over the weekend. 13 of those hits came from Alvarez, Alfonso, and Marte. Mm-hmm. Nobody else in that lineup can hit. I mean, Lindor will. But they got 75% of their offensive activity came out of those three guys. And keep in mind, Alvarez hasn't been around that long. This is a young guy who's still developing. Uh-huh. That it's going to be a long season for the Mets, but they do have some young guys that are getting some time out there. Beatty had a couple flashes. Alvarez had a really good weekend to open it up. But it's going to be a long week. It's going to be a long season and a lot of long weeks for the Mets.
Yeah. Let's go Dodgers and Cardinals. How are we thinking about, both teams really, because we're expecting the Cardinals to kind of have a bounce back season. And
they look like crap.
Yeah, they do. and obviously it's still really early, but how are we feeling about the first look at the Dodgers?
I think they're exactly what we've been saying they were. I think they've got at the top end, they've got elite talent. After that, they've got a lot of question marks and maybe some guys that are subpar. I mean, you look in that series, they got nothing out of the bottom five hitters in their lineup until Muncy hit that home run in the 8th inning. They got nothing from them. It would literally, that team is going to go as far as Betts, Freeman, and Shohei take them because they don't really have much else in the lineup that you can count on consistently.
Will Smith.
Yeah, I mean, Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Yeah, he's going to hit. I mean, Will Smith is going to hit, but the back end of that lineup is a bunch. It's a bunch of K machines and question marks. The pitching was good. Yamamoto looked better. His stuff still doesn't show that kind of elite out stuff we thought we were going to see. He was better in this start, but he doesn't miss as many bats as I thought he would. Maybe that will come in time, but again, you have elite top end talent and then a bunch of question marks. And are they going to be good? Yeah. Are they going to win 100 games? Probably. But they're not just going to run away. I think the Braves are going to run away. That team is stupid good. The Dodgers are still figuring it out.
I think that team's close. I think that team is. I might be the resident idiot on the show here, but I don't know, man. I think they do run away with that division and pretty early. And I like it. You know, they weren't firing on all cylinders here, like 1 through 9. There's no doubt about that. But this is not the best Yamamoto you're going to see. I think you're going to see him settle in, and I think you're going to see him get into a groove, and he's going to be, I think, what they paid for. I think the lineup is going to roll because the guys that are streaky are going to find strides. Mookie's not a streaky hitter. I mean, this is what he is. He's not going to hit 500 all year, obviously.
No.
But this is what he's going to do. This is what he's going to do. Freddie Freeman is not a streaky hitter. This is what Freddie Freeman's going to do. You know, Shohei's probably going to hit a little bit under 300, but he's going to have the power. He's going to have the plate discipline. He's going to put the ball in play. Like, you're going to have that. I think Will Smith, the contract extension he signed was great for both sides. I mean, he's there to stay. He's not playing for a contract. He knows that he's there to stay. I think that team is so good. I think Bobby Miller's an animal. I don't see so. I mean, you said it's a team that has a lot of top talent and a lot of holes. I'm not so sure I see a lot of holes. I just think when the streaky guys are streaky, you're going to be able to rely on those top 3 or 4 guys to get the job done anyways. And I think this is, from the Cardinals' perspective, this is a really tough one. Like, who wants to start in LA against this team with what they're facing right now in the clubhouse with the whole Shohei stuff? And we talked about it last week. Like, this could be a galvanizing thing for them. It certainly looked like it is now at this point. Like, this team's coming together. They're playing for each other. I almost want to wipe the slate clean for St. Louis and be like, this doesn't even count. Like, the games count, but, like, this doesn't tell us anything really about the Cardinals. Like, we'll have to kind of wait for the next few series to kind of see what we think about St. Louis.
Yeah.
Like, that was unfair.
No, but the Cardinals did not play well, and the Dodgers came back from behind on them twice in games that really they should not have won. But the Cardinals, this is a bounce back season for them. They're better than they were last year. You know, maybe they aren't as good as we thought they were, but the Dodgers are a tough draw out in LA with the absolute friggin' circus I'm sure that was out there. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like when they get rolling. But did you guys see the Cardinals powder blue uniforms will not be available until June? So they're gonna have to go road grays because Fanatics cannot produce that blue uniform in time to get to them on the road.
Yeah, they also had an issue getting the Sunday uniforms to Seattle on time.
Right. They didn't. Yeah. You will not see the Cardinals blue road uniform until probably June before they'll be able to get them out.
That's crazy.
It's such a mess, dude. All right,
the uniforms just continue to be. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
It's unreal. We'll get back to them too when we talk about the Yankees and Astros series. But first, I want to stay in the NL West because my D-backs, granted, it was against the Colorado Rockies, but it's still against the ace of their team. They put up a 14-run inning. Now, I have not missed a single pitch of a Diamondbacks game yet. And that lineup is gross. Top to bottom. You add Suarez in there, this young kid coming up that I'm completely spacing on his name, but he hit like 480 something during the spring. Alexander. He hit like 480 during the spring, and Lavella was like, I have no choice but to put him on this team. So him and Jock Peterson are platooning.
Blaze Alexander.
Thank you. Jock Peterson shows up in his first game of the Diamondback, goes 4 for 4. Yeah. Suarez is like friggin' 8 for 11. I mean, Alek Thomas, you have Alek Thomas in the bottom third of your order with Perdomo, who was your all-star last year, out of the 9-hole. And it just flips it over to Carroll, Marte. I mean, it just keeps coming.
Lourdes Gurriel's got 8 hits, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs in 4 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
And then
They're good.
And then you got Montgomery coming back in. I think it's slated for week 3. So, and not next week, but maybe the week after or the week after that. And then Erod at some point too. So right now you have Hunter Henry.
Yeah, why is Erod out?
I do not know that right now.
I was surprised to see that. I didn't realize he was out.
So Hunter Henry got the game 3. Brandon Pfaadt's going tonight. And we'll see because this will be the test because the Yankees are in Arizona tonight. So that's going to be a big, big test for the Diamondbacks. And it's going to be a test for the Yankees to keep it rolling. So I think the Diamondbacks are going to be there with the Dodgers. And like I said, I think last week,
hope so.
I do too. But I think the real test is when they get to face the Dodgers and we see them head to head, how it matches up. Like, I think that's ultimately the test. I mean, for any team really, but in the NL West to see how it shakes out, I think that's the important matchup there. But
yeah, I agree. I think the D-backs are good. They're only going to get better when Montgomery joins them. They can certainly hit. Now they can pitch. Got a lot of dynamic guys in that lineup, and I think they're going to make a lot of noise and be a lot of fun right to the very end.
Yeah. Craig, I'm not putting that comment on the show because I don't agree. So sorry.
Listen, I hope you're right. I hope they're with,
Craig's been shadow man.
With them. I hope they're with them all year. You know, I hope they make it close. I hope it. You know, we're sitting here in September and we're talking about how, you know, if they're playing each other, it's, you know, the 4-game series is for the lead. Like I hope all those things are true. I don't know. I think, you know, and this is the danger of what we're doing here because we're 4 games into the season and we have such a small sample size to pick from. But you know, to lose a game 9-4 to Colorado just kind of shows that like they're going to have games where they just don't show up. And no one's going to go 162-0. Obviously, I know that, and I'm not saying that. But I think there's going to be stretches of the season where Arizona is not playing the type of baseball you expect them to play. And I just don't know. I think the stretches of Arizona doing that are going to be a lot longer than the stretches of LA doing that. And I think that's where LA is going to start to pull away. You know, I don't know if you'll see a 10-game stretch where LA is just like, who is this team? This is not the team we're expecting. 2 games at a time, 3, sure. Everybody does that.
Sure.
But like a 10-game stretch, I don't think you're going to see that. Whereas I think there's a very strong possibility you see that from Arizona. And I mean, that 7-game difference right there could be what starts kind of the Dodgers just taking off and running away.
Yeah. And
you know, and I just that's all. That's my thing. I think talent-wise, they're there. I mean, they can hit. They got some reinforcements pitching-wise coming down.
Their bullpen is hurt right now with Seawald not being in the back.
Right.
Like that kind of shifts everybody
and
up
how long
earlier
is that
than that one. I don't know either. I think he's going to be back sooner rather than later, though. I don't think it's a massive one, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're my team to watch. I love them. I love how they play.
Seawald's 15-day left oblique strain, so it's puts him out to maybe another 10 days.
Yeah. So
I think there's some truth to that, though. What Sean was saying, the Dodgers' elite level talent, their floor is going to be a lot higher than most teams. So like their bad nights are not going to be as bad as other teams' bad nights. So they're still going to be in games. They're still going to win games on bad nights because their floor is just that much higher.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
I would take Mookie Betts. You know, Mookie Betts as a lineup of 1 is going to keep you in ball games.
It's fair.
I mean, let's be honest. Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman as a lineup of 2 would probably beat some of these teams, just the 2 of them.
Yeah. So Justin Steele. So we'll switch to the Cubs. Justin Steele.
That was sad.
Unfortunate.
Popped his hamstring. He was pitching really well against the Rangers there opening day. Looked good. Trying to make a play up the first baseline. It was kind of an awkward throw for him. So he had to kind of it was like a shuffle, but like he had to jump and hop. And when he came down on it, it just popped and you knew. And I was like, just don't be an ACL. That's all I was hoping for at that point. But just came back with a hamstring. So
it's sad when you see a guy rolling around on the ground. You're happy that he's grabbing his hamstring.
Right.
Like, thank goodness he's not grabbing his knee.
Yeah. So, I mean, tough break for the Cubs, but first look at the Cubs, Sean. I'm with you, man. they're going to be good. And,
Yeah.
we give Morgan shit all the time when he's watching, but man, that Cubs team might do some damage in the NL Central there.
Oh, what a hose. What a hose.
Yeah. So
Bobby Wood Jr.'s fast, if you're wondering.
But yeah, I mean, I think the Cubs are legit. I think they're going to be at the top of that division from the 3 games we've seen.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Yeah,
they got to catch the Pirates, buddy. I mean, they got to catch the Pirates first.
They do.
Imanoga looked good today. He took a no-hitter into the 6th. Again, Colorado, but, took a no-hitter into the 6th. He looks legit. He got 9 Ks, 8 Ks, something like that. A lot of swings and misses, missed a lot of bats. So I'm with you. I was high on the Cubs, obviously. I picked them to win the division. I'm going to be following them. They're a fun team. They're going to be fun.
Yep. Well, the Pirates are still undefeated, so they do have to catch them.
Sure are.
I mean, it helps when you start the season with 4 against the Marlins and then go to play the Nationals. I mean,
Nationals.
Whatever. Not exactly a gauntlet schedule to start the year, but
take advantage though. And they're doing
these are the games you got to win.
advantage.
If you're going to be a contending team, you got to win these games.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you got right now. You got Shamanai taking a no hitter into the 6th inning against the Tigers. So there's some Mets news for you.
Yeah,
he just lost it. But
no. As I'm saying it.
But we ended the 6th. Nimmo threw a guy out at home to end the 6th. So
jeez.
Still no score.
But any other teams in the NL so far that you're like on early watch or big, big news?
The Marlins are awful. They are awful. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah. I mean, they got a burner right now with the Angels, and Mike Trout just hit a 475-foot bomb dead center. He also hit the first home run of the year. So if you had Mike Trout on your first,
which I guess technically it isn't because the Soul Series counted. So technically, not.
True. He hit the first stateside home run of the year.
Right.
Whatever.
I'm just saying, if you had it, you wouldn't have got it. But
it's true. It's true.
I'm with you guys in the Cubs. They were. I was impressed. I mean, they lost 2 out of 3 to the Rangers, but they were super competitive games in them all. Played really well. The Pirates are off to a crazy start. We knew their pitching would be good. It's a question of whether or not they're going to hit. The Marlins are wretched. The Reds have proven to be a lot of fun, but that's a team that you're going to need like the antacid with you to watch them all season because they are up and down.
Yeah, the other night, was it last night? They hit back-to-back home runs to walk it off. Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, and the one team I will say, the Astros, they were not very good. They had some moments, but they just could not get anything going against the Yankees.
Yeah, no, the Yankees seem to have their number, though. I think the Yankees have beat them like 8 or 9 straight. The Yankees are good
against them, yes.
But they just seem to have their number.
Yeah, you lose 4 in a row. That's a tough look.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
they lost they got swept in their home finale series last year against Kansas City, and they got swept this year in their home opening series against the Yankees. So that's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Juan Soto throws out the potential tying run in game 1.
That was a rocket.
Rocket right on right on target, tags him out. Yankees close it out and win. And then he just continued he's Juan Soto. He's at 557, I think, right now. Like he's
something stupid. Yeah, he's
somewhere around there.
My God, man, he's gonna have a ridiculous.
He looks
season.
like a natural fit in that lineup and with that group.
I can't wait to watch him hit at Yankee Stadium, though. Like
he's gonna terrorize pitchers there. It's gonna be bad. And then having the Red Sox Mariners series, the Mariners
are going to get to them.
Yeah, Mariners can pitch, boy. They can pitch. That offense is not very good. They're going to have a tough time scoring runs. And the Red Sox pitch well. There's nothing I can say the Red Sox went out there and threw meatballs to them, but there's little offense on that team.
Yeah, that was a tough series for me because I'm such a Red Sox cynic right now. I still have that taste in my mouth from the off season. Like I'm not gonna lie. You talk about holding a grudge, Sean, but this is me carrying it on into the regular season. It's like I love the Sox. I'll always watch them if they're on and I'm able to watch them. I just don't know. I saw 2 teams this weekend. I saw a good fundamentally sound team that could hit, that could pitch, and then I saw it kind of all fall apart in the last couple. I don't know. I mean, the one they lost, they didn't bring in Kenley Jansen for the save there.
Well, he said he was out.
Who said he was out?
Kenley
Kenley did?
Kenley said he was unavailable. That's what I read.
I just, man, come on now. Like, it's game 3.
I mean, he's 36 years old, Nick. I don't know.
I get it. Like, I just played around a golf. I just played around a golf and I can't move. So, like, I get it. But, like, I mean, I'm also not getting paid $26 million a year to play golf. Like you just go pitch 3 outs, dude. You're our closer. There's no excuse in my book.
I hear you. I agree with you. I'm just saying before we bring the torch,
don't yell at Sean
for Cora. No, I'm just saying before we say Cora should be fired on the spot. Like, from what I understand, it was Kenley saying that he was unavailable.
All right. Well, I don't know. So just to kind of bring it back, I don't know what this Red Sox team is. I want to believe that they're good and they're gonna hit and that they're gonna pitch. But like I said to Sean, we were watching the game a little bit the other night, was the pitching started this way in Yankee Stadium last year, if you remember.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Their bullpen was hot. Their starters
Red Sox
were
are
hot.
always good in April. They're always good in April. It's
it's
the second half of the year you got to worry about.
Yeah. And we're like, you know what? This bullpen really isn't that bad. And then we get to May 1st and we're like, you know what? This bullpen is really bad. Like,
no, but I don't think last year. I don't think the bullpen was that bad last year.
No.
No, it was the starters.
The bullpen was not your problem last year.
No, the rotation was trash.
2 years ago,
maybe
the bullpen was your problem. And last year, the bullpen wasn't their problem.
No, the bullpen was good.
Injury, I mean, Trevor Story was, being injured, missing the year. I mean, that was a killer, right? They had guys that underperformed, but they still scored a lot of runs. They scored more runs than the Blue Jays last year.
Yeah.
like they're gonna hit, and I think adding Rafael into the lineup is gonna add speed. I mean, he legged out a triple to left field that he had no business being on third base for.
And his defense he's like Jackie Bradley Jr. but with a bat.
I do think they're going to add some element of kind of speed and chaos on the base pads, which is only going to help them.
Yeah.
I don't think offensively over the course of a season, I don't think it's going to be your problem.
No.
But starting pitching, and this is where, again, it's only one short 4-game series against a team that struggles offensively. So, let's not get too worked up about it. But I do think Andrew Bailey is the real deal as far as a pitching coach is concerned, rather than that traffic cone Dave Bush that they had last year. I think this team, pitching wise, is going to have a game plan that they're going to be able to execute versus every offense that they play against. I don't think they're going to execute flawlessly every series, but I think they're going to have a game plan. I think it's going to be more than just going out and just being like, well, you should throw strikes. It's like, okay, this is major league lineup. I don't think that's really going to work. Like, we have to have a plan that we're going to do to get through the hearts of these lineups. I think they're going to have a plan for that because I think Andrew Bailey is legit. I would have loved to see what Andrew Bailey can do with a healthy Chris Sale, but that's a different discussion for a different day.
Yeah.
Taking 2 out of 4 in Seattle is what I wanted, and they did it.
Yeah.
They should have taken 3, but you took 2. Right? You took 2.
Yeah.
The pitching looked good for the most part. Starting pitching specifically, I was more concerned about that than the bullpen. Starting pitching, I thought looked fine. And offensively, that's just a tough lineup, a tough staff, I should say, for us to kind of judge this offense on.
A lot of
those
Ks.
3 guys are so good, dude. Those 3 guys are so good.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a lot of
staff,
Ks.
But the top 3, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it's.
I mean, what?
Unreal. You just faced 3 of probably the
good.
top 7 or 8 pitchers in the American League, all in one run.
3 in a row.
Yeah, 3 in a row, right? That starting rotation
3 games in a row. That's a lot.
That starting rotation is one of the best you're going to come across.
And those at bats are grinds. I mean, you just have to grind your way from the at bat in the first inning all the way through the 9th, and it's hard.
Kirby. There wasn't a single at bat against George Kirby that anybody looked comfortable. They were flailing at stuff. He's so good. He's so good.
How can you?
They give him one run and he still friggin' wins.
Yeah.
Well, I did, and I'll say this about. We can move on from the Red Sox in a second, but Pivetta, boy, do I feel bad for Pivetta. I heard on the broadcast, I didn't know this, but they said on the broadcast that this is the 6th game since Pivetta's been with the Red Sox that he's given up less than 2 runs. He's 0-6.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yikes.
It's like mathematically impossible.
He's like Tim Wakefield.
I was just going to say it. Tim Wakefield
Worse.
numbers.
Yeah.
But worse.
But yeah, probably worse.
I doubt Wakefield ever went through a stretch like that.
No, probably not. Over
Dude,
his long tenure, yes, but
Yeah,
in,
right,
in that
right.
short of window,
If
no.
you give me, if I go out and give you 6 starts of less than 2 runs, that's 0 or 1, guys, for those tough ones on that. That's either 0 runs or 1 run. Like,
And you
how do you not
lose.
have a win in there?
Yeah,
How
Yeah.
do you not have a
these?
win in there?
Just by
That's
accident.
insane. That's insane, man.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So, I mean, that guy, he pitched, he looked so good. I thought Pivetta looked really, really good.
yeah.
A couple
And
of mistakes, but
he might be our saving grace in the staff, to be honest. Like he has that bulldog mentality a little bit, and I think he could help. I mean, he's definitely not going to hurt. He can only help this staff. So, I don't know.
I think the Red Sox. I think to your point, Sean, the Red Sox face probably one of the toughest pitching staffs they're going to face all season. They're going to hit. They face one of the worst offenses they're going to face all season. So it's hard to judge the pitching. I don't think you can take a lot out of the Mariners series other than they kind of did what you thought they would. This is probably about a 500 team. You expect them to win about half the games they're going to play in. Take 2 out of 4, take 2 out of 3, take 1 out of 3. They're going to alternate around. I think they are who we thought they were so far. But I found the Red Sox to be unwatchable last year. They were just not fun to watch. They did one thing over and over again that didn't work. This team's a lot more dynamic. They're at least going to be more entertaining than last year's version. They may not be a lot better, but they're at least going to be more entertaining. And if the pitching can hold up, they may be better than we think. I'm not willing to bet the pitching holds up, but it's a good start because the pitching was the biggest question, and that's what looked best.
Yeah.
Look, you went out west on the road against a team that people are hoping to get back into the postseason and think that are talented enough that should be pushing for a postseason berth, and you took 2 out of 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's too much to complain about there.
No.
I mean, they should have won the game 3, obviously. I think with Kenley taking himself out or not going to Kenley, however that is going to play out. But, you went into the top of the 10th and you got 2 runs.
Yeah.
And then you gave up 3 in the bottom. I mean, that's not a recipe for success.
Rough.
That's tough to do. But, they probably should have had 3, but they went and took 2 out of 4. And this is a team that folks are saying are going to be in the postseason, being the Mariners. You went out there opening the season. You took 2 out of 4. I don't see too much to complain about there.
So can I ask you guys, are you believers in the Mariners? Is that a playoff team? Because I'm not there yet. I don't think they're a playoff team.
I think they're right in there with the bulk of the American League teams that we think are going to be in the postseason. I don't think they're going to set their record. I don't think they're going to be the 1 seed in the American League. Like, I don't think they're going to win 100 games, right? But I mean, I think they're going to be in the mix of right around where they were last year. They're going to be kind of like right on the cusp, 1 game out, 2 games out, 1.5 games out, kind of going in for that last wild card spot.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think the pitching's going to keep them in, man. I mean, the pitching, when you have pitching like that, like, you're going to find yourself in pretty much every game that you play. So,
yeah.
I'm
And
a believer
if that offense is struggling against Red Sox pitching, like there's better staffs out there.
Yeah.
And if they're struggling against us, they're going to really struggle against top of the line pitching, so. I mean, I don't know. Right now, I think you are right on the nose when you say they finish 1 or 2 or 3 games out. Like, they're going to be there, but not quite there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really frustrating season for the Mariners. If they don't go out and make a deal for an arm, they're going to go out there and pitch great and lose friggin' 2-1. A lot, because that offense, other than J-Rod, there's no real exciting players in that offense. Raleigh and France had a good series. But they're very streaky guys. They've proven that over and over again. They're going to hit like crazy for a few weeks and they're going to disappear. So who's going to be next up to, kind of step in when they go cold? I just think they're going to, to your point, be in every game. They're going to lose a lot of frustrating ones.
So talking about putrid offenses, as of yesterday, the Chicago White Sox in 3 games had not had a single runner in scoring position.
No, I don't think it was through 3 games.
No, they scored 8 runs.
Yeah.
In game 3? It wasn't through 3, but at one point they hadn't.
I think it was like over a game and a half.
Okay, but still. But
they're bad.
Still.
They're awful.
And Mike Clevenger signed with them today. So good luck.
Yeah, I mean, they got some pitching.
Yeah.
But who's Clevenger? I mean, the Mets and the White Sox are tied for bottom of baseball with 8 runs scored so far. The Twins are above them with 9. The Mariners are just above them at 10. I mean, hell, the Oakland Athletics outscored those 4 teams. The White Sox are putrid. That team is really, really bad. And there's nothing at all worth watching.
Dang. I don't know. All right.
It's ugly.
Okay, so
real quick on the Red Sox, did you guys see the article that after the winning game 1, they gave Craig Breslow an opening day beer shower in the clubhouse?
I did not see that.
So apparently, according to Breslow, he has it set up with Alex Cora where it's like he and Alex get together after the games, but they're still trying to figure out, do we get together right after, a little after? Like, when do you want me to come down? So Cora, I guess, called him and said, hey, you got to come down. And as he got down there, they threw him a T-shirt and a pair of shorts, and he said, get in there. And they gave Breslow a beer shower as a welcome to Boston.
It's kind of cool.
I'm reading this article going, that's cute, make the guy feel welcome, but we're having a beer shower after opening day win. Like
the Mariners are pissed because now the clubhouse is just covered in beer
for no reason on opening day. But
right.
I was like, yeah, that's cute. An opening day beer shower. Okay.
Yeah. How about
Whatever.
Twins and Royals series? Did you guys catch any of that? I watched a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I pitched. I watched the first game because Reagan's was pitching.
Yeah.
He's so good.
But then I just caught kind of the highlights of the other games.
Yeah. Royce Lewis is hurt again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tough.
It's so tough. The kid
Took
goes
5
yard.
minutes.
Kid goes yard and then gets hurt. And I mean, his looks like a quad, I think they said, going into third base. So hopefully just a muscle tear. Byron Buxton is still playing at the moment. So there's that for the Twins. But
that's good. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah. How are we feeling about our AL Central picks there? I mean, it's way too early, but are we pivoting on the Royals at all? Are we?
I'm not. I mean, I think the Royals largely played well. I mean, the Royals bullpen is really what. I mean, they lost. So game 1 they lost. It was 2-1 going into the 9th. They lost 4-1.
Right.
And then game 2 it was 1-0 going into the 8th, and they lost 5-1. Like they've still got some bullpen stuff to work out. They're playing the Orioles tonight. It's a 3-3, 3-3 tie, bottom of the 8th. Like they're battling. I think that's who the Royals are going to be. The Royals are going to win as many games as they can come through in situations like this. They're going to be in a lot of games. They're going to fight. They're going to scratch. They're going to claw. They're going to win some. They're going to lose some. How many of those they can convert to the win column will determine where they end up, because they're not going to come in and blow anybody away. Right. They're going to come in. They're going to play good baseball. They're going to be in the game, and they're going to have to get some things to go their way. But are the Royals going to win the division? Probably not. And I said that when I picked them. But they're good, and they're going to be around.
Yeah, it's fair. All right. Anything else that kind of stands out from the American League in this opening weekend? Blue Jays, Rays.
I mean, those teams are who we thought they were. They played kind of unremarkable baseball for a few games.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jays beat them up game 1, then the Rays beat up the Jays game 2, and the Jays beat them up again in game 3.
They just traded punches.
It was essentially kind of what it was.
They just traded punches, and then the Rays are now getting beaten by. They're losing to Texas right now, and I don't know. I feel like the Blue Jays are losing to the Astros, the Rays are losing to the Rangers. I feel like those two teams are gonna just kind of. They're gonna be there. They're gonna continue. They're gonna play well enough to be competitive, but they're not gonna make any real noise.
Yeah. Okay, it's fair.
There's no. The Rays don't have that punch, and the Blue Jays have a lot of talent, but they just can't put it all together. Yikes!
Is Pasquantoni? Did he get hurt? Why is Pasquantoni out at first?
Wasn't he DHing?
No, he was playing first early in the game because he made a couple of nice stretches earlier in the game.
They pinch ran for him last inning. That's what it was.
I mean, this is 2 plays at first base that Pasquantoni would have had. Kansas City would be out of this.
That's going to cost him a game. So, like, there's a perfect example of the Royals. They have the play to get out of the inning, and the first baseman can't dig it, and they're probably going to lose this game because of that. Like, the Royals are playing on such a thin margin that they can't have stuff like that go against them.
Well, I wish I could watch that game with you guys, but that's one of the 5 markets I'm blacked out of being in North Carolina. So
Here we
Yeah,
go.
All right.
again.
because you're right there.
Took us 40 minutes. Here we go.
you're welcome. But all right. So anything else from around the league that you guys want to touch on before we move on?
No,
I
just
think
Yankees lineup's going to be tough. I think Houston's
Yeah.
going to be there. Houston just they just don't seem to play well against the Yankees. 4-game sweeps are tough because 4-game sweeps look really bad, but I don't think that is a microcosm of what you're going to see from Houston this year. I think Houston's legit. Houston's got players, they got talent, they've got the experience. I'm not hitting the panic button over the Astros. It's just a team they don't play well against, and it's a team that has so much confidence against them because they seem to have their number. So other than that, though, no.
Yeah, I think the AL Central is kind of what we think it is. The Twins are still the best team. The Tigers and Royals are on the way up. The Guardians are tough to figure out because they played the Athletics and they played okay. And the White Sox are trash.
Yeah, fair. All right. I have some opening day trivia for you guys. So here we go. Buckle up. And if you're in the chat, you can also answer the questions if you want to take a stab at them. So here we go. Opening day trivia. Who has the only opening day no-hitter in Major League history?
Ooh.
Oh. That wasn't Nomo with the Red Sox, was it?
Nope, not Nomo. His was his first start, but it wasn't opening day.
Okay. It wasn't opening day. All right. Modern
Give me
era?
a timeline. Like, when did it happen? Yeah.
In the 1900s. Do you need
Were we alive for it?
No. So I would say between the 30s and 50s. But this is a very well-known pitcher.
Don Larson?
No.
30s and 50s.
I'll even give you the year, 1940.
Oh, geez.
It was against the White Sox.
Of course it was. 1940s opening day no-hitter. Can I phone a friend?
Yeah, if you need to.
Hey, Nick, what's the answer?
Yeah.
The answer is Bob Feller.
Oh, man.
Oh, Craig just had
Craig
it.
got it. Bob
Feller.
Feller. Nice work.
Yeah, nice job, Google. I mean, Craig.
Bob Feller, 1940. Yes. Okay. Next one here. Which 3 sluggers have the most career opening day home runs? And these
Tyler
are
O'Neill.
no, not yet. The number is 8.
Wow, it's a lot of opening day home
The
runs.
number is 8. We have seen 2 of these guys play, and another guy is a Hall of Famer.
Pujols.
No, good guess. Not Pujols.
A-Rod.
He's on. Nope.
Well, so it's gonna be guys like 8. It's got to be guys that have played for a while too. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
You said no one Pujols, right?
Yeah, no one Pujols.
Adam Dunn.
Adam Dunn is one. Big donkey.
Get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who pulls
Adam
that
Dunn.
answer?
Yeah.
Dude, the guy played for 1 trillion years.
I know. There was
I'm
a
just
stretch there
thinking
where
about guys that have
Konerko hit
played
a bunch of
forever.
opening day home runs too.
Yeah.
Oh, Konerko would be a great call. Is it Konerko?
Mm-mm. Nope. One guy has won an MVP award in both leagues.
Frank Robinson.
Yep. Frank Robinson's
Yep.
number 2. And then this other guy is sweetest swing ever.
Griffey?
Griffey. Yeah. So
Griffey, we should
Griffey
have called
Jr.
Griffey, dude. I'm upset we didn't get Griffey.
I know.
So Griffey, Frank Robinson, Adam Dunn, all with 8. So
Man,
here we go.
And Adam Dunn probably had the longest combined distance of those home runs because there was no cheap home runs with that guy.
David Ortiz is a good guess. Jeter was a good guess, but no, none of those.
Adam Dunn also has 700 opening day strikeouts, but that's it.
Yeah.
that was my next question.
Yeah.
All right. Who has the most opening day starts as a pitcher?
Oh. Maddox.
No, that's a great guess. Not
Damn.
Maddox.
How's Maddox not on that list? All right.
It's a little bit before Maddox.
Ryan.
Nope, but a teammate of Ryan's at one point.
Oh.
When he was in the NL.
Like, we going back to like the Mets days, or are we going?
Yep.
Seaver.
Yes. Tom Seaver. Ready for this? 11 opening day starts for the Mets, 3 for the Reds, 2 for the White Sox.
So basically, every season he pitched in his whole career, he started on opening day.
Started on opening day. Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay. Here we go. This one's a really tough one. Who threw the first ceremonial first pitch ever?
Oh.
Ever. It was in 1910.
Teddy Roosevelt.
And nope, you're on the right track.
McKinley.
Nope.
Taft.
The only president, Taft, yes.
I was gonna say, I'm trying to
knew
go
it was
back in
one
my
of
head.
those
Like,
three.
what's the order of the presidents?
Yeah, so William Taft. Only Jimmy Carter and Donald Trump are the only presidents to not throw out a first pitch for either opening day, an all-star game, or a World Series while in office.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, so a little tidbit of information there for you. Kind of cool. But yeah, that was the first pitch ever. It was in 1910.
Jeez.
Kind of cool. All right, which team has the best winning percentage on opening day?
The Red Sox.
No. I'll give you a hint. It was a team that got swept this weekend.
Mets. I was going to say Mets. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like I heard that tidbit last year.
Yeah.
I
And
feel
they had
like
it on
Mets were
they
in
had
my
it on
head,
the
yeah.
game this year too. But,
Oh, they did. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Mets were in my head.
Okay. Most opening day pitching strikeouts with 107.
Seaver.
No. We have seen this guy pitch.
Verlander.
No.
Maddox.
Nope.
Pedro.
Nope.
Randy Johnson.
Randy
I'll say,
Johnson.
think of the big strikeout guys.
Yeah. 107 strikeouts on opening day.
Well, you give Corbin Burns a few more opening days, he'll be on that list.
Right.
He was mowing them down.
That's crazy. All right. This is the last one. George Bell, Tuffy Rhodes, and Dimitri Young are the only players to do what on opening day?
Cycle.
Good guess. No.
Oh. Granny.
No. You're like in the right realm.
3 home runs.
3 home runs in a game.
Like, I remember Dimitri Young doing something on opening day. I just couldn't put my finger on what it was.
Yeah.
I appreciate you letting me get involved there, Harrison. That was nice.
I mean, I'm trying to make sure you got a chance to participate there, Sean.
Oh my God. Yeah. So funny. All right. We are going to head home here and bring up some other news around the league. The city of Oakland has offered the Athletics a 5-year extension proposal with, what did you say, Harrison, a 3-year opt-out?
Yeah, it's a 5-year extension with a 3-year opt-out in it. So at the end of the 3rd year, Oakland can get out if they do, in fact, end up moving to Vegas.
Which, from the sounds of it, Vegas is like, no thanks.
Yeah, that's turning into a bit of a mess.
Yeah, it keeps going back and forth, but from the sounds of it right now, it sounds like Vegas wants nothing to do with it. So,
yeah, it's a tough one for them. And if you look at the terms too, so the city of Oakland wants the Athletics to pay a $97 million extension fee that's non-refundable if they opt out, because that would cover the cost of them vacating and them having to renovate the ballpark for something else. The Oakland Athletics currently pay $1.5 million a year for a lease, and Oakland wants a $97 million penalty or fee
protection
up front
thing.
To pay for the renovations the ballpark needs for when Oakland does leave.
So they're not gonna sign it. In other words,
no, they're going back and forth over this, and it's not necessarily a done deal, but it's at least they're talking, which is better than anybody expected. But the terms are a bit obscene on their side, and what the A's want is not necessarily realistic on their side, and we'll see what happens.
Goodness, I don't know. All right,
yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah.
It's more of the same.
Yeah. The last thing I have is Jackson Holiday's first first weekend in AAA. So this is hard, right? We've been talking about Jackson Holiday the last few weeks about his talent. We all know he has it. But the Orioles' reason for sending him down to the minors was so he could work off hitting left-handed pitchers. Well, his first at bat, he promptly turns one around and hits one about 450 and proceeds to go, I think it was like 5 for 11 on the weekend with some obscene amount of extra base hits and just terrorizing AAA. Now, what do the Orioles do here? Do they just keep him down there until he's hit 40 home runs in 3 weeks with, a 600 average? Like what? I don't know. I mean, I get there's a log jam on the Orioles right now. Like there's nowhere to put him necessarily, but you also just signed Tony Kemp, who's taking up an MLB roster spot. So what? I don't know. What are your feelings on it?
I don't know. They have a plan. I think he will be up here a lot sooner than later. And Kemp, Mateo, I mean, someone's going to be the odd man out that finds their way DFA'd, or if the contract doesn't allow for DFA, they're just traded for a bag of balls. He's going to be up here soon. I would say I would be willing to bet by the end of April.
You don't think they'll wait until the service time's manipulated, maybe in week 2 of May?
Is that when it's up? I mean, if that's
usually
if they're going to wait that long, they might as well. I mean, if you're going to go to the end of April, you might as well hit that deadline. But I don't. I mean, they obviously have a plan, and maybe that is their plan. Maybe they wait till that service time deadline is there, and then they pass it, and then he comes up and he's up here for the whole year. I don't see what else he's getting down at AAA.
Yeah.
I don't see what else he's, you go down there to work on stuff, right? You go down there to get in the lineup every day, get 4 at-bats a game. You're slated in there regardless of how well or how poorly you're doing. What's he gaining down there? He's not challenged.
No, he's just getting at bats down there at this point. He's staying warm and seeing pitches.
At this point, just come up here and see it back. I mean, if he's up on this roster, he's playing every day. He's played his way into a starting lineup on a Major League Baseball team. So he's either seeing at bats at AAA every day or he's seeing at bats Major League Baseball every day. At this point, he's not coming up here to platoon.
Right.
So that's why I think it's going to be short order. I think it's going to be very soon you see him up here. And whoever the casualty is the casualty. And, thanks for showing up. We appreciate the effort and we're moving on. I don't think it's going to take us very long, a few weeks at most.
Yeah, Jesus, stole third. I view this as the Orioles know he's coming up. They know he's going to play every day. They just don't know where yet. And I think they're using us for 2 reasons. 1, service time, and 2, I think they're assessing what they have. Who's the casualty? Is it Urias? Is it Mateo? Who's the guy that you make the move on when he comes up? And I view them using April kind of like a tryout to figure out who goes to make room for this kid, because leaving him in AAA for the whole season makes no sense. And I don't think anybody expects him to be down there that long. But I think this is going to be to keep the service time and then just to figure out, based on performance on the field, who gets the axe when he comes up or who gets relegated to a backup role. Because I agree. On 25 other baseball teams, he's playing in their opening day lineup. The Orioles just aren't one of those teams because they don't have to rush him, which is a nice thing. But he's coming. He has to. He's too good to sit at AAA. He's seeing pitches and getting at bats? Great. But these are guys that are just not at his level. And he's going to terrorize AAA pitching.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great point. But why else would you excuse me? What are you doing during spring training if you're not assessing these guys talent-wise? And are you just waiting for the everyday major league?
Yeah, I think spring training is hard because you spend half of it playing against guys that are minor leaguers, haven't been sent down yet. So you're not seeing this team on the field when it matters yet.
Okay. Yeah.
You're not seeing them against a real major league lineup, a real major league pitching staff. You're seeing flashes of it, but this is a chance to, you're going to be in it. This is your chance to assess what you've got and figure out where he slots in.
Yeah.
And you're playing Gunnar Henderson at shortstop pretty much every night right now. You're probably also seeing, is he an everyday shortstop or not? Yeah, you're probably trying to figure out a lot of things right now to figure out when he does come up, where does he slot in?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Adolis
think
Garcia just hit his 100th career home run already.
And they're using April, I think, to Harrison's point, which I happen to agree with for the most part. They're using April as a kind of trial period because they can.
Right.
Because they have the luxury to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like if they were forced into making a decision at the end of spring training, I would guarantee you he would be playing right now on this roster. But
sure,
they have the luxury of they don't need to do that. They didn't need to do that at the end of spring training. So, we might as well use these first couple weeks to see what we have. And if we already know what we have with Holiday, we are using what do we have in Urias? What do we have in Mateo? What do we have with Henderson at shortstop instead of, okay, he's not a shortstop, we're going to have to move him back to second base or we're going to move him to third base, and we know Holiday is our shortstop. Like you have the luxury to do that now. And why not take advantage of it?
Yeah. I think that's the case. And he's down. So he's got 3 games played with Norfolk. He's got 14 at bats, 5 hits, a home run, 5 RBIs, a couple of Ks. He's hitting 357. I mean, that's what he's going to do down there. He's gonna rake.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I agree with all of you. We'll see him up very, very soon, and it's kind of a combo of all of it. It's the service time manipulation, it's the log jam, and the tryouts for the other people. So I agree. Anything else from you guys from this week?
Well, if you guys will indulge me, I got to take you through these hot takes and get your opinion on them.
Let's go.
So MLB published 11 hot takes after the season's first weekend. And I was messing with Sean over the weekend, a guy would get like 1 hit and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to hit 1,000 this year. And, because of course, as baseball fans, like we get those first few games in our system, we're like, this is going to dictate the whole season. This is how it's all going to play out.
You guys were killing me on Thursday night. It was game 1. And then I'm just going to pick on Nick for a second. But Nick would pick a team and be like, whatever, the Royals. He'd be like, oh, this team's going to be a problem. It's like, dude, it's game 1. Like, let's calm down, dude.
Right.
With this team's going to be a problem.
But you can see the full potential of some teams, like even in one game.
I get it.
But it's a long as baseball fans, like we get so pumped when baseball comes back. Like that first weekend, it's everything. It's everything. I mean, the Yankees are going to go 162-0. The Astros are going 0-162. Like,
oh God, that'd be amazing.
Set. Let's roll. All right. So anyway, so here's the 11 hot takes, and I just want to tell me if you agree or disagree. Juan Soto, built for New York, is going to spend the rest of his career there.
Ooh, tough one.
Agree.
I think I'm taking it. I agree.
Okay. Astros. Not as good as we thought they were, an 80-ish win, mid-80s win team.
Mid-80s?
Yeah, 85 win team.
I would say that's a bit of a hot take, but I mean, I say they barely break the 90 win plateau.
Okay, so they're not quite as good as they're hyped up to be.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, what is their projected wins? Not now, they're before the season.
No, I think it was 95, 94, 95.
Okay, yeah, so I don't know if they quite get that. I think they get 89, 90, 91.
Okay, so they're not quite as good as we thought, but they're not a joke.
Right.
All right, Phillies bullpen is going to keep them from making the playoffs.
From making the playoffs?
Yeah, their bullpen will be a liability and prevent them from making the playoffs.
I mean, they don't play the Braves 162 times.
Thank God.
The Braves are so good. The Braves are too good. It's hard to have a hot take after you play the Braves because everyone else doesn't. No one lives up to the Braves. So it's hard. I do think the bullpen struggles, and I think when you play teams like the Braves, like the Yankees, like teams that have deep, good lineups, I think they're gonna struggle. But
I think
I still think they make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a hot take for now. I think I need to wait and see what the bullpen looks like against the Rockies, against the other teams around the league before.
Okay.
Just like you said. So I think that's a hot take.
All right. Orioles are clearly the best team in the American League.
Clearly? Yeah. I don't think clearly.
Okay.
It's a hot take.
Pirates are going to win the NL Central and be a World Series contender.
No, hot take. Such a hot take.
I'm taking it. Bring it.
Such a hot take, dude. Come on.
O'Neal Cruz on their back, dude, the whole way. No, that's definitely a hot take for sure.
All right. Shane Bieber is back and will be a Cy Young contender.
I didn't see much. I only saw the numbers. He's going to stay healthy. I don't think anyone's doubting the talent. He's going to stay healthy.
And he dominated the A's. Let's be serious.
He's going to stay healthy. I don't care who you're playing. I mean, he's going to be healthy.
True. Yeah,
that's why I'm taking it as a hot take, because I don't think he gets through the entire season. Like, he just can't. He can't stay on the mound.
Right.
Okay. Mets won't win 80 games. Sean's like, maybe.
I don't know, man.
I'm taking that. I think they finish below 80 wins.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry.
I'm going to say it's a hot take.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm going to say they finish just over 500.
Okay. Diamondbacks are for real and will finish neck and neck with the Dodgers.
Yes. I'm taking
I agree with the for real part.
That's fair.
Okay. All right.
They are definitely for real.
I think I am definitely for real with you, Sean. Neck and neck. I need to see what Jordan Montgomery looks like in this staff as well. And then when Paul Sewald, they do have some questions in the bullpen, and they have a lot of young starters that are going to be filling in until Erod and Jordan Montgomery are ready. So, and like you said, the Dodgers take advantage of any little slip up. So
yeah,
it's going to be tough for them to be there.
We just need to see over the course of a season, what do their skids look like? Are they 3 and 4 game skids, or are they 8 and 9?
Like the skids of my underwear. Right.
If it's 3 to 4 game skids,
which means they roll deep.
Right.
If it's 3 to 4 game skids, they're right there with neck and neck.
I can't.
No, I agree.
If it's 7, 8, 9 game skids, then I don't think so.
Right. If they can stop the bleeding early, then they'll be there. But if not, like you said,
they had those last year. They had those skids last year where it was like, oh, they're gonna find themselves outside. They're gonna find themselves on the outside looking in come playoff time.
It was August.
They had only win like 84 games. Isn't that what they won?
Yeah, they had a wretched August, I think.
They had major skids last year.
Yeah.
Which almost cost them a chance at the postseason. So, do they learn from it? What happened last year? And if they do, and it makes them, is that a walk-off?
Yeah, it is. Royals win.
Westberg.
Man, the friggin' Royals get a guy on base. They steal third base to tie the game, and then they give it up in the 9th.
A walk-off homer opposite field from Westberg. Is that good? I don't know. Yeah, so I'm definitely not a hot take. I'm with you on the D-backs are for real.
For real.
I'm not quite there yet on they'll be neck and neck.
Okay, they're for real, but they're not running with the Dodgers yet.
They do have a different feel to them than the team did last year.
Yeah,
I think just adding the new pieces and the veteran pieces and Peterson and Suarez,
they got some swagger.
Expectations, though. I mean, this is all everything.
Right, I agree. Yeah,
like you looked at this team last year, going, "Oh wow, they got some good talent. What a good story this is." Now they have the expectation, so now you're looking at it, going, "Well, this is what they should be. This is what we expect night in and night out." Right. So they're going to have to carry that with them over the course of 6 months.
Yep, I agree. I'm with you 100% there.
All right, Justin Steele's hurt. The Cubs season is over. They will miss the playoffs.
Oh, so hot. Such a hot take. That team is deeper than Steele.
Agree. Especially with what Imanaga did today. I mean,
they will miss him. If he's out for the year,
sure.
An extended period of time, obviously they're going to miss him. I don't think it spells doom for them. I think there is very, very much still a path for them to not just win the division, but perform in the postseason.
Here, if it was an ACL, I would take it. But since it's just a muscle strain, it's a hot take.
Okay, fair enough. All right, here's one for you, Nick. Royce Lewis is another Byron Buxton.
1,000%. That is not a hot take. The guy got injured. What was it, in the playoffs last year too? He can't stay on the field. It's been like 3 years. Everybody thinks he's a rookie. Nope, he's been on the roster for like 3.5 years.
He was the number one pick in 2017.
Yeah,
like he's been around a while.
He can't stay on the field, man. He can't, and it sucks because you have two guys that could be 30-30 on your team. and they can't stay on the field. I don't know if
They have
Rhys Hoskins
they
will.
have so many
It's
home runs
crazy.
and stolen bases on the injured list. It's crazy.
So crazy, man.
Well, and they're saying he's got a severe right quad strain. He's not going to be out for months.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an
Jesus.
extended absence for him now.
They said months.
Saying months. He could be out for multiple months.
You know, I'll drop him from the fantasy team. That's
I mean,
Well,
I
that's
would check the injury report again because they're saying that here. But
who picks a twin? They stink.
well,
it
remember,
was Royce Lewis, dude. I was going for power.
yeah, but dude, was it
I
last
think
year
they
that you
can't
had
stay healthy, bro.
you started your fantasy season with Trout and Buxton and somebody else in the outfield
Yeah.
that all got hurt?
Yeah, it's fine. I finished second in both years, so it's fine.
Yeah. All right. Last hot take. There will be no 100-win teams.
Hot take. It's a hot take.
No.
The Braves are going to win 100. The Braves are going to win 100. The Dodgers are going to win 100.
The Braves might win 100
And
before August is over.
And I think in the American League, I think the Orioles are going to be right there at that number. They had 101, 102 last year?
101, yep.
101. I think they're going to be right there. I think this Orioles team is better than last year. I mean, you certainly upgraded majorly with Corbin Burns. You know, who knows when John Means comes back? Who knows what his role is going to be? But we've seen that guy perform at this level.
So he had an outing in single A and he got absolutely lit up.
So I don't put anything into those. You know
Right.
this. I
he's
don't
working
put
on
much
stuff.
into those. They might tell him to go out there and I need you to work on, behind in the zone. I need you to work on off-speed pitches to get back into account. Like there, and he's not out there trying to mow these guys.
Well, no, I get it.
Like I don't put much into that. I mean, it doesn't look good, but like we've seen him perform at this level against major league lineups quite well. I mean, he's got a no-hitter under his belt. I mean, he knows how to handle a major league lineup. So whether he's in the rotation, whether he's kind of the first guy they turn to in the bullpen to kind of settle things down, like who knows? But the Orioles, I think, are better this year than they were last year. Obviously, with Holiday coming up, I expect big things from him. So I think there's 3 teams that could do it. I think there's 2 teams that will reach 100.
Fair.
Yeah. I guess I can see that for sure. 3 years. So he hasn't pitched since 2021, John Means.
Been a while.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
It said he pitched for the Orioles last year.
Well, he did. He made a few starts at the end of the season, I believe.
He was 1-2.
Yep. He made a few starts in September.
Okay.
Just trying to knock the rust off.
And then he was out, and then he's out again. Did he have other surgery in the offseason?
No, then they didn't take him into the playoffs with them. He made a few starts and they left him off the roster.
But
why is he off the opening day roster then?
Oh, this is something he came into spring training with some soreness that I think they were trying to deal with. I think they're being cautious with him is what I read.
Gotcha. Okay.
They're kind of giving some extra time to ramp up and rest because he's had some soreness.
Nice. All right. Anything else? Any matchups this week you guys are kind of looking forward to, or?
Dodgers Giants is always fun first year.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun one.
Is it
tonight.
Snell's first start tonight? I think.
I didn't look at that yet.
I think I saw that pop up, but
Charlie Morton blanked the White Sox today at 40 years
really
old,
good.
but it's the White Sox.
yeah, still 40 years old, dude. Like I said, I can't even get out of bed without hurting myself. This guy's out here competing.
I mean, for me, I look at it this early in the season. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on all the matchups because I'm trying to figure out which teams are going to be the ones that are, pretenders and contenders. But I will say the San Diego, that team is finally hitting like they're supposed to.
Yeah. Snell's debut is next Monday, so he's got another week. So
yeah, I'm sure you're watching the Yankees and Diamondbacks, Nick, because that's going to be a fun series.
I haven't started watching it. Well, I'm watching it tonight. Yeah, when it starts.
I'm sure you're going to be watching that one.
I'm watching the Angels and Marlins and kind of checking in on the Rangers right now.
But, oh no, Phillies. Oh no.
But yeah. Yeah, since the Red Sox have been on the West Coast, I've been split screening the Diamondbacks and Red Sox. So it's been been bouncing back and forth between those two. But
yeah, and I think another one worth noting, a couple for the weekend, you've got Arizona traveling to Atlanta, and you've got Houston traveling to the Rangers. Houston, Texas, after that whole, we'll never know back and forth, will be fun to see what the atmosphere for that game's like.
Yeah. For sure.
And those Rangers rings are pretty sick.
Yeah, they are.
Nasty.
Those
The
are sweet.
sapphires underneath the T there, like,
Yeah.
whew. Did you see the Easter egg that's in them?
Yeah.
No.
If you pop the T off and the sapphires, underneath it has the ROAD, which was the Rays, Orioles,
Oh, Astros, Dodgers.
Astros, Dodgers, and it was road, and it says 11-0.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Sick.
All right, anything else, fellas?
That's it.
I'm good.
All right. Well, thanks for chiming in and talking with us in the chat here. But before you go, please make sure you like and follow us on Facebook. You can also subscribe on YouTube. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. And we will be back on next Monday at 8 p.m.